To qualify for this major, you had to finish around the top of your region playing 3 regional events, each of these events accumulating you a certain amount of points. For NA and EU, you needed to place top 4 in the rankings, in SAM, MENA and OCE top 2, and for SSA and APAC you had to be first. So let's start with the top region, EU, whose number 1 seed is Karming Corp, who last split, well, possibly had the most dominant split of all time, swooping the semi and grand finals of the last major, which quite frankly is unheard of. This split so far, they've only dropped 1 series in main events, that being against Dignitas, so the dominant French org looks as good as ever, winning 2 of the 3 regionals. Alongside Vatira and Utal, they also have Raleigh, who many consider to be the best player in the world right now, with Zen's results not quite living up to his name for a 2nd year in a row. Having bombed out top 11 last major, Dignitas surprised people a lot by qualifying for this major as Europe's 2nd best team, having a positive record against NIP, Genemates and most importantly Team Vitality, even getting a series win over the reigning major champions Karming Corp to win a regional. Apparently Jack's reunion with Joya so far seems to be going very well, and the team clearly displays a very high ceiling, with Stizzy already showing his potential last major.
Let's get a free touch, he's just punting it! Oh, Stizzy! Of a shot 105 kilometers off the top rope!
Going into this season, Team Vitality were expected to be fighting with Karming Corp for not just best in Europe, but best in the world, and well, last split they couldn't even win against South America in the playoffs as they bombed out top 6. Still, they went 3-0, that Swiss, that major, but this split regionally has gone even worse than last split, so they don't even look as good going into this one. Their only lifeline being Zen, with Monkey Moon and Exotic clearly underperforming. Still, Monkey Moon is seen by many as the GOAT of Rocket League, so if any team is going to rise to occasion in spite of a dry spell, it's his. For the last EU seed, we have a team that had a terrible split last time, finishing 8th regionally, but acquiring Eugen in place of Erdosan has sparked enough improvement to bring Seiko and Juicy's Genemates back to the major. Important to note, these two have won a major before coming in as EU's last seed, so they do come in with clear dark horse potential. NA has looked a lot better this split, and they look like they could genuinely take up the 3 spots of the top 4 if all of them played to their peak powers. Not saying they're expected to do so, but I think the chance is certainly there. For their top team, NRG, however, their last major was a bit disappointing, failing to win against their own region in the semi-final, though NRG's standards are incredibly high, so in reality 1 top 4 really isn't a big deal, and in spite of NA's improvement, they remain number 1 in NA, winning 2 of the 3 regionals this split and thus being one of the favourites to win the major. After a roster switch, the rookies representing Space Station Gaming, who just barely missed out on the first major, ended up proving the potential they've had this whole time, getting 2nd place in North America and winning the most recent NA regional, giving them momentum into the major as well. Scribbles, Reveal and Kofir are the faces of the new generation of NA players competing for major championships. You can't talk about NA's 3rd seed, Gen G, without talking about Justin, who hasn't been at a notable land since 3 years ago. Justin, who's possibly the NA GOAT, has made a remarkable comeback to the top of North America, and now has the opportunity to make it back to the top of the world. He's playing alongside household names for North America, but players that haven't really challenged for LAN titles. These 2 players are Cheese and Magic Bear, who have shown sudden improvement together with the North American region as a whole. The Ultimates coming into this major as NA's last seed will be considered a disappointment, considering in Split 1 they beat NA's best, NRG, in the major semi-final, though they didn't exactly impress in the grand final against Karming Corp. Still, even in this split, they do seem to play the closest to NRG out of NA teams, and many consider them a LAN team, so there's potential for a repeat of their impressive LAN performance. Not to mention they have First Killer, LJ and Chronic, who have been making majors consistently for a very long time. South America's Golden team made top 4 in the last major, but have yet to win an RLCS LAN. And although their RLCS LAN performances have improved as of late, this split they did lose a regional to Team Secret. So there will be questions whether Yan, Lost and Drafinho can improve on their career best top 4 at a major to finally win South America's first RLCS LAN trophy. Like I mentioned, Team Secret did win a regional in South America this split, however they did not impress at the previous major, winning only one series there, and underperforming at RLCS LANs has been a theme for Team Secret in the past. To have a good shot at top 8 this major, it'll be up to KV1, Mota and Swift to overcome their LAN jitters. MENA's big dogs Team Falcons had a really promising last season. With their aggressive style, Rawas, Clears and TRK impressed everyone, though according to many and myself underachieving since I really thought they should have won an RLCS LAN, and unfortunately for them in the last major, they didn't impress at all. In the Swiss going 3-2 and ultimately went out top 6 in a close series against NRG where, to be honest, they only made it that close due to off-brand defensive blunders from NRG. This major, it'll be up to them to prove last major was a one-off. The face of Twisted Minds is Naupo, a relatively new player who some believe has become a top 5 player in the world. Many people believe that due to him, they could improve a lot throughout the season, and considering they made top 8 last major, they're certainly an exciting team to watch this time around, with 2 EU players, Rise and Atomic, to complete the roster. OCE have not looked great this season, and wildcard are kind of the only hope they have right now. Although they went out top 14 last major, they did get the closest to beating Carmine Corp out of anyone at that event, so I guess there's at least that. Fever, Torsas and Banana Head are going to have to overperform in order to finally make that top 8 they've been longing for. OCE's second seed TSM won possibly the biggest upset of all time in RLCS history, which if you're interested in, I did make a video about the biggest upsets of all time, which you can find in the description. Anyway, Super Lucky, Amphis and Kaka failed to make the last major, and with OCE stock being so low right now, OCE fans will have to hope they remake some of that magic we saw at Worlds. Sphinx will be the only player representing APAC at this event, with NA's Sosa and EU's Catalysm specifically choosing him for their APAC super team, mainly due to his immediate rise towards being APAC's best player and immense potential. Last split, they were able to beat both OCE teams at the major, and they'll be curious to see whether they can sneak in a top 8 result this time. SSA's representatives are, well, all Europeans. Yeah, not cool to watch, but you might recognize VK Sailing from 2020 or 2021, and other than that, there's not much to say. They won all of the season's SSA regionals, so Africa's Best has been able to take down the high-tier EU Bubbles team. Anyways, that was the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, maybe like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.